What's up, YouTubers? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor. We're going to be looking at a different investment group, as you might call it. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin. And we're going to be exactly looking at the Bitcoin futures market within Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, which is /BTC. And you can kind of see, let's just do, if everyone's not too familiar with Bitcoin, the funny thing is this exchange, this futures of Bitcoin basically came available on the height of the day. It's basically hasn't seen its height since this, so it's basically kind of trades like an IPO. And the craziest thing is when I just did this very simplistic analysis on here, I did the high of the 20,650. And I did a Fibonacci retracement. This is on a weekly chart, all the way down to the low of 3,120. And by God darn done, you name is Jimmy John Dong. Look at that. It hit nearly to the T on the 618 on the weekly chart. So this is quite incredible. And it's been literally below the 50% retracement of its previous high since then. And now let's break it down to even a different time frame. So let's just do the high of this to the low here, which is it's barely breaking above its 50% retracement, but it hasn't gotten up below the 618. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to create an alert signal above. So we want to see it break out above this. If you look at it through the technical side here on the weekly chart, it is barely just breaking above the 200, and you kind of see here it had issues here before. So I kind of want to make key of this. So just remember this was in 2019, so this is the summertime. So we're going to highlight this. We're going to make a beautiful little square for everyone here to kind of highlight this little time frame here. All right, let's make it like that, and we're going to make it like this. So we're going to highlight this time frame. So basically, May, June, July, August, and September. So 4 or 5 months. Then let's do that on the flip side of /ES, which is the S&P 500 at the same time frame. So we did what was it? 19. Basically, it was right here. Draw another box to like September, and we are looking at kind of the same flex of things of trying to see what happened there. We did have multiple trend breaks, not to the most highest degree of we had in December of 2019, but it was a conviction of like, oh no, is this going to fall again like the previous year? Oh no, is it going to fall again like the previous year? But it's both made higher highs or higher lows throughout this trend, so that was indicating the trend was still intact. Let's go back to /BTC, and then so this is the same time frame that we're looking at, and it had, once everything was basically all clear, basically the end of September into October, the market's kind of set it off and kind of been trading sideways ever since here for Bitcoin. Look, let's dive down to more on a daily chart. You can kind of really see this crazy volatility. Basically, this swing up and this swing up are both the what happened in 19 around the summertime within the S&P 500. So let's go back here. We're going to zoom in on the daily chart for SPY. You can see here it was substantially dragged down due to this. And now, ever since like October, everyone knows that we've had this amazing trend of just being a super bull market and just ripping higher. And you can kind of see here, and the flip side on Bitcoin, it's kind of been blah. But we've had a slight little rally here. Basically, at the end of January, it did kind of continue going with a lot of the trend of moving upwards with a lot of the equities and markets. A lot of people play Bitcoin in the sense of is like, oh, it's the fear of the system going to collapse. Like, I kind of gauge it almost like a VIX indicator. Like a VIX is the volatility index of the S&P 500, where it's basically also called the fear gauge. I wouldn't consider this a fear gauge. I would kind of give this, I mean, I would consider this as like a fear gauge on people maybe playing an alternative way on buying gold or buying more safe or structured assets if a particular decline goes down. This honestly would be, if you were buying any Bitcoin, the great thing about Bitcoin is you can buy such small fractions of this. So it's you don't have to go out and buy a full share at $9,775. So that is a really nice thing about Bitcoin. And I have had Bitcoin in the past. I got rid of it. Mostly I was actually in Ethereum much more than anything else. But I sold out, thank God, maybe a month before the high. It was just, there was writing on the walls on the sense of when you get those phone calls from people that you knew in high school and college, like, hey, Ken, do you heard about this Bitcoin? I'm just like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, I think about buying this other coin that mimics as. I was like, okay, just be careful, just don't. But it can get really messed up, and sort of when people who don't trade or get in the market and they're just getting in because they see the easy money being made, that's always a red flag. I'm not seeing that quite yet in the stock market, but I feel like we're getting there. I feel like people, a lot of the mainstream media, a lot of the people who aren't currently always watching the market, who don't listen to earnings reports, who don't even trade or do anything technical analysis like I do here, start asking you questions of like, hey, what about that Tesla? Should I put money into that? I got $1,000. What do I do? I'm just, I kind of shake my head. I'm just like, it's the wrong time to get in at these times. But that being said, everyone is their own divine on trying to make their self a success in trading. But on Bitcoin, I have a hard time saying no to this. This is a super intriguing play for me. I might be adding some Bitcoin to my portfolio. Just going to give it to the announcement here on, yeah, I usually haven't traded much crypto in the past, and I actually really haven't traded it since like, I think it was the winter of 17 that I sold majority of my stake, and then January of 18 I sold quite a bit from there as well. But this is kind of a compelling trend here. I like it. It's kind of keeping up with the reversion to the mean kind of trade. You can kind of see here it kind of comes up, third deviation, comes back down, third deviation, comes back down, third deviation, comes back down, third deviation, comes back down. So why wouldn't it go back up to 11,000? So in the short term, I think 11,000 would be a wonderful price target. I wanted to go back out to the weekly here, where I can see, again, it's absolutely insane, the story of Bitcoin, of how phenomenal it went and just blew up. We're going to do create an alert at or above here, and we're going to do an at or below just right about here, because I like to kind of keep it just slightly below the 21. Actually, boop, there. It didn't go. Just go here. Fantastic. The thing with Bitcoin, if it moves, it really moves. So I would like to see this maybe bounce slightly higher. I'm not going to be trading crazy size on this. Again, this thing basically literally trades 24/7, and you're able to get in and out of it quite easily. That being said, I'd like to know what everyone else's views are on Bitcoin. I know a lot of Bitcoin gets a lot of heat for being the money for drugs and illegal nonsense, but I really do feel like there is some tech and some really important stuff behind it, and we're just not seeing it quite yet. I think a lot of people aren't seeing the potential of it changing how we do business and how we create markets for currencies and how we interact with individuals and paying things and so forth. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.